I want to talk about cutting, copying, and pasting audio segments here in Audition. If you want to follow along, go track down these two files here. Gettysburg Unedited from the Working Files Narration subfolder, and then get the Noises Multiple Approaches from the Noises subfolder. All right, we're going to start with Gettysburg Unedited here. Have that guy loaded up. We've seen this or heard this before.
407 years ago. Proposition that all men are created equal.
All right, our goal here is to cut this starting phrase and then paste it into a new file. So how does that work? When you cut something, it doesn't just go away. It disappears from this file, but it sits in a virtual space on RAM called a clipboard. So to cut something, I'm going to go to Edit, and then Cut. Now, probably you know the keyboard shortcut for cut. That's Control X in Windows, Command X on a Mac, and copying, same thing, Controller Command C, and pasting, Controller Command V. So we're going to cut this guy by going Control X or clicking on that menu command, and now it's gone from that file, but it's not gone forever. It's in a clipboard. Now let me show you something cool about Adobe Audition CS6. This is new to CS6. It's called multiple clipboards. There are 5 clipboards available inside Audition CS6. By default, whatever you cut or copy goes into clipboard 1, but if you specify a different clipboard, it'll go there. So we'll talk about these other clipboards a little bit later. But the thing we just cut is residing in clipboard 1. And it'll stay there inside clipboard 1 until we copy something else to clipboard 1. All right, so let's paste this thing. Well, there are 3 paste options. There's paste, paste anew, and mix paste. Well, paste just paste it back to the places we got it from, so that makes no sense. Mix paste is kind of a higher level thing that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But paste anew is the logical thing. We're going to paste this to a new file. We're going to create a new file with that little segment pasted into it. Now it looks like, wow, it's really long, isn't it? But that's because it's stretched to fill the entire window here. It's still the first phrase from the Gettysburg Address.
407 years ago, are created equal.
Right, there it is again. So we've created this new file called Untitled 1, which is now stored in a temporary folder as a temporary file. If we don't save it, then it's going to go away forever when we close down Audition. So there it sits waiting for us to do something to it. I'm going to delete it because I want to do some other stuff here. So I'm going to click Delete, save the changes. Nope, it's gone. Let's go back to Gettysburg. And where is that cut that we made? Well, let's just undo what we did. I'm going to go Control or Command Z to undo it and bring that cut area back. Now I want to copy it instead of cut it. So I'm going to go select it again. I'm going to copy it, which is Control or Command C. And now I want to paste this to new. So I go to Edit, Paste to New. There we go. This time the selected area will show up because we match the selected areas across all files here in the waveform editor. So the other time it didn't do this because when we cut it, we basically lost the selection. So that's why that selection suddenly showed up there. And there's that same first phrase of the Gettysburg Address. We pasted it to a new file. I want to get rid of that. And now we're going to do one more time where we're going to keep it this time. So go back to Gettysburg. I'll make this selection again. I'm going to go Control or Command C to copy it. But this time, I'm not going to copy it and then paste it. I'm going to go Edit, Copy to New. That saves the process of copying it and pasting it. Copy to New does what you think it's going to do. It's going to copy it and paste it and put it in a new file. So that saves one little step. And here we got that same phrase copied to a new file. And this is what we're going to work on from this point on. Let me go back to the Gettysburg Address. I want to get the second segment now and show you how you can paste that into an existing file. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to copy it, go Control or Command C, go to this guy, this new one, and I want to put it at the end here. If I have the current time indicator at the end, then it will add it right here at the end, starting with the current time indicator is located. If I move the current time indicator here, it'll insert it there and keep this little dead space at the end of the newly inserted thing. So what I want to do is I want to replace this little dead zone here to tighten things up. So when I go Command or Control V to paste it there, it's going to essentially delete that and cover it up and then put the rest of the file to the right. So I'm going to go Control or Command V. And here's the newly added thing. And it got rid of that little segment toward the end. And now there we have it. The second thing is now put in there. We've got 2 phrases now.
All men are created equal. Now we are engaged.
There you go. So I got 3 more segments that I want to paste, and I want to use that multiple clipboard approach. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to zoom out so I can see everything. I'm going to take this one, the third phrase, 4th, 5th. I'm going to take the third phrase here, select that. I want to put this in the third clipboard so I can remember that the third one's in the third clipboard. So I got to go to Edit, set current clipboard to the third clipboard, which is currently empty because we've not selected that. So now I've selected that. Nothing's in it yet, but I've selected it. It's now active. So I go Control C or Command C, go back and take a look at that clipboard, and lo and behold, it's not empty anymore because that thing we copied is now copied to clipboard number 3. Notice the keyboard shortcuts here. We're going to use them in just a second. So I'm going to go here and copy this next one. If I click copy now, it's going to replace what's inside clipboard number 3. So I need to switch clipboards. So I do that before I copy. So to switch clipboards, I do Control or Command 4 to go to clipboard number 4. And I'll show you that we did that by going here. It's now clipboard 4 is selected. It's active. That'll be the thing we copy something to. So this guy's ready to go. I'm going to go Control C, and that will put that in clipboard number 4. I'll just demonstrate that by taking a look at it. Now it's not empty anymore, right? I'm going to select this next guy, and I'll go Control or Command 5 to select the 5th clipboard. I go Control or Command C to copy it. Now I've got 3 things in 3 different clipboards. Go to this untitled number 3, go to the end. I can just accept that the current time indicator is at the end, or I can select this little area that I can maybe replace part of it like that. I got to zoom in a little bit to do that. Hang on a second. There we go. Now we'll select this area. There we go. Now I want to paste the item from clipboard number 3. So I need to switch to clipboard number 3. I'll go over here for clipboard number 3, and I'm going to paste it here. So I'll go Control or Command V here, and it did that, but now I need to see the whole thing. I'll spread out a bit so I can see the whole thing. There it is. I'll put the current time indicator at the end and forego all the extra little bit of trimming and stuff. I need to switch to clipboard number 4, so I'm going to go Control or Command 4 to select it, and I'll prove to you that I selected it by showing you there it's now selected. So when I go Control or Command V here at the end of this guy, it'll take the 4th clip and put that one in. And now I'll go to the end of this guy, at end. Now I'll go and change the clipboard by pressing Control 5 and then Control or Command 5 and then Control or Command V. And now we've got all those 5 segments put inside here, all kind of trimmed down so they're not quite as much space between all the phrases. And we've pasted all those 5 segments to this new file. And that's how the copying, cutting, and pasting works. I want to talk about that specialized thing called a mix paste. So I got this thing already set up. I'm going to explain how to use mix paste to deal with noise problems when I talk about noises in some upcoming tutorials. So I've already set this up, and it's kind of complicated to get it set up now. So I don't really suggest you do this, but if you want to, feel free to do it. Let me just show you what's going on here. I'm going to switch to the spectral frequency view here. Got some music here where I've got somebody coughing in a segment, and then I've got that same music repeated elsewhere, so I can replace the cough segment with the uncough segment. Here's how it goes. Let me turn the volume up a little bit first so you can hear a little bit better. Here's the cough. Here's the repeat. So that little segment there is the repeat of the coughed segment, and I've already marked them off. I made selections and marked them off, and this marker and that marker are the exact same length. You can see 2 seconds, 118 thousandths of a second. So they're both the same. I've selected this one because it matches the phrasing of this first one. I'm going to copy this. I want to copy it to clipboard number 1. So you can kind of go back to the standard approach here. Select clipboard number 1. Go Control C to copy that. And now I'm going to replace this with that. Now I could just simply paste. I could go Control or Command V and paste it there. But the mix paste has a nice little feature where you have nice little crossfades at the beginning and the end. And you can determine what % of the pasted audio you want to put on here versus what % of the original audio you want to retain. Well, in this case, I want to get rid entirely of the first one and have 100% of the new one there, but you do have the option of changing those percentages. So I'm going to go to Edit, Mix Paste, and notice the ... which means you're going to open up one more menu here. So you're not going to do something immediately. You get one more crack at it, and there's the menu that opens up. And it says, how much of the copied audio do you want to put there and how much of the existing audio do you want to retain? So this default level is 100 and 100, which would increase the sound level quite dramatically. And doubling is not truly doubling, but much louder anyways. We're going to drop this guy down to 0 because we don't want any of the existing audio. We want 100% of the copied audio. Here's that crossfade I was talking about. You can set the length of the crossfade, and 50 milliseconds is a good amount. So we're going to swap out the cough audio with the uncough audio. Do that. And now listen to it. Gone. Like It's miraculous. I love that you can do that kind of stuff here on Audition. So that's how you cut, copy, and paste audio, and also do a mix paste here inside Adobe Audition.